Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is about 10 past 4 o'clock and a good afternoon. Welcome in. The sun is slowly fading in the west, and we are live at Nissan Stadium. Happy to be here on the south end of Nissan Stadium between gates 8 and 9. We are doing this for Toy Field. We're doing this for the children in the Nashville and the Middle Tennessee communities and the seniors. We'll talk about those folks as well coming up in just a couple of minutes. But we want to remind you that there's plenty of time for you to get to the store, buy a toy or 2 or 4 or 8 or 10, and bring them on out to the 18th Annual Toy Field Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. It's happening all day today. Started early this morning at 5 a.m. with Dan Mandis and Nashville's Morning News. Chris Hand was out here. Chad Benson was out here. I'm leery of the fact that I'm about to have to sneeze, so if I pause for a moment, Ken Weaver's got to take over because I might have to sneeze any second now, Ken.
Just come on and bring whatever gift you can find.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's real easy to get here.
Yeah?
You just come right off 24
Yeah.
over here, slide over to gate 8 and 9, and you just pull up in the parking lot here, and we got folks who will empty your car for you.
Yeah,
You don't even have to get out if you don't want, but we'd appreciate you coming in and saying hello.
Yeah, we'd love to see you. I think they have hot cocoa.
They do have hot cocoa.
Yeah, have you made that hot cocoa run yet?
I have, and that's why I have to make another run here in a moment.
I love that. Ken Weaver's out. That is reason enough for you to go by the store and buy a toy and come by. I mean, you know, Jackson Williams is here, and Action Jackson, he would love for you to love on him a little bit and give him a little hug. I mean, Jackson, I think, needs a hug. He's been here since, I think, sometime last night he got in to provide overnight security.
Half past stupid.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of half past stupid, I think you hit the wrong button there, Jackson.
No, I hit the right one. I just didn't.
Didn't turn it up enough?
Yeah, didn't turn it up enough. What's up, boys?
How's it going, man?
I'm struggling. I think my
a,
last brain cell's holding on for dear life.
Here's
it's fighting a losing battle.
Here's how I know Jackson's struggling.
How's that?
I said, Jackson, I got you a Monster. Okay. I was like, all right, Jackson, do you want the Monster? No, I don't. Okay, and then 3 minutes later, Murphy, I'm going to need that Monster. And then 2 minutes later, I don't need a Monster, Murphy. I've already had Red Bulls. I don't need another one. I won't be able to sleep.
I will be sleeping at 7 o'clock. I might sleep in the parking lot.
Just go ahead and take you a little nappy nap.
Yeah.
In the parking lot. We got we are almost, I would say we are certainly 2/3 full.
We are 2/3 full, and we just had a big old bunch come in.
We did over there in the corner. Look at that big old bear.
Yeah, big old teddy bear.
Big old teddy bear looks like Jackson Williams over there.
Yeah, it does.
That's Y2J over there in the corner.
It looks like it's Vols orange.
Yeah, you know, I can see that. I can see it. I try not to see it, but I'll see it. I'll allow it. So Weaver's out, Murphy's out, Jackson's out, the entire crew. I mean, we got our brother station over there, 104.5 The Zone and 3HL. They're over in the corner. We're over in this corner. We're trying to out-yell one another. I think it'd be a fair fight between Slay and I.
Yeah.
The yelling fight?
Yeah,
I think so.
I was getting ready to say he's a little bit taller than you.
Oh, no, I don't want – I'd run from him.
Yeah.
But I'll yell at him.
Yeah.
I think I could yell better than him, but I think he could dunk better than me. I think. He was only the, SEC Player of the Year?
That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
SEC Player of the Year.
Played professionally, 15 years?
Yeah. Wasn't he Mr. Basketball, too?
Oh, yeah. He was all those things.
Yeah.
He was all those things. I was Mr. Loudmouth in school. So I got that going for me, which is nice. We've got a lot of things going on. Look, I want to talk to you a little more about this silly organization, and I'm trying to find out more about this organization. And, folks, there is some intentional confusion and intentional subterfuge going on. And I hate the idea of big-time, big-money people trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the average folks here in Nashville. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I hate it with every fiber of my being, and I'm going to do everything in my power to expose that sort of thing, no matter who these people are. Wherever the chips fall, it needs to be exposed. And here is what I would suggest to you is going on. Now, I'm gonna offer you the story without comment, and then I'm going to give you a bit of background on it, okay? And every media outlet in Nashville, Tennessee, Fox 17, News Channel 2, what's the other one? News Channel 5. What's Channel 2? What do they call themselves? I don't know. Channel 2.
ABC.
Yeah, that's ABC. That and then WSMV, Channel 4, All of them have basically the same story. These stories are being filtered to them, pushed to them by money people. And the money people, I would suggest to you as I connect the dots, well, the money person is John Ingram, the owner of the Nashville Soccer Club, the owner of Geodis Park, who wants the property that's currently occupied by the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Now, whether you like the Fairgrounds Speedway or not, whether you care anything at all about auto racing or not, you should not like big millionaires pushing the little guys around and pushing the city of Nashville around for their own purposes. And their purpose is to take over the property that's currently legally chartered to be the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Now, here's the story. And I'm just going to read it without comment. A local coalition filed a petition Monday seeking to halt the expansion of the Speedway at the Nashville Fairgrounds, hoping to let voters decide the future of the controversial project. All right, I have to comment. Is this a controversial project? The Fair Board already approved the project. It is of no taxpayer cost. The people of Nashville, Tennessee voted on this issue like 14 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And they overwhelmingly voted not only to keep this Fairgrounds Speedway as it was, but to make sure that there would always be racing on that space, because there always has been racing on that space. There is really no debate here except that John Ingram has tried to create an AstroTurf movement against this project. The only people that I have heard with legitimate complaints are people that are worried that the noise will get louder if we revitalize the Fairgrounds Speedway. And as a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. The noise will be abated by 50% or more. In other words, the noise will go down for the race weekends that are there. Currently, there are 9 race weekends. Every other year, there will be a 10th race weekend, and NASCAR will come into town and bring a lot of money with it. So there's really no debate here except that John Ingram wants the property. And sadly, the media outlet, I'm sorry, folks, these television outlets are just being lazy, because this isn't really an expansion of the Speedway. It is a tear down and rebuild. There will be no expansion of any Speedway. And the voters have already decided on this project, and I don't believe the project is particularly that controversial. Anyway, the debate over bringing NASCAR back to Nashville while expanding the current Speedway has continued for over a decade. Mike Kopp, a member of the coalition Restore Our Fairgrounds, says, "We've got so many communities across the city that are now concerned about this with us." Metro Council members approved a change to the Metro Charter in 2010 that added protections to certain events at the Nashville Fairgrounds, making auto racing mandatory on the property, because it was originally designed to be mandatory on the property, folks. So the very name of this organization that I can't find anything about online, Restore the Fairgrounds. The Fairgrounds has always had racing there. They started with horse racing in 1904. Since there has been a fairgrounds, there has been racing on the fairgrounds property. And it converted from horse racing to auto racing over the years. And I think starting in the 1940s, NASCAR was there until 1984. But there has been racing there, community racing, there from 1984 till today. Till this moment, right? So this organization called Restore the Fairgrounds to what? There's always been racing at the fairgrounds. What are you trying to restore the fairgrounds to? So you're intentionally being confusing. Secondarily, there are multiple organizations that are already in existence in favor of the Speedway renovation called, I'm looking at one right now, Restore Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. You can go to restorenashvillefairgroundspeedway.com, and you can see that this is a group supporting the renovation of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Not the expansion. There's no footprint expansion. The renovation of the property. And, oh, by the way, the renovation will cost the city $0. It will be an influx of $130 million of project, and currently, the city's paying up to $10 million a year to keep that property up, and Bristol Motor Speedway is going to keep that up. once again, it is an absolute no-brainer. It involves no tax burden. It involves additional parking. It involves a noise reduction in sound. And the Fairground Speedway people have already said that they were willing to work with Geodis Park and the soccer club to make sure that they don't have conflicting dates and to make sure that they are running not against one another but in concert with one another to make sure that the parking situation doesn't get out of hand or whatever by having two events on conflicting weekends. So this new organization seems to be intentionally attempting to confuse people with its name. Secondarily, I can't find anything about this organization online at all. Restore the Fairgrounds. Now, you tell me how this works. So an organization that I can't find anything about online called Restore the Fairgrounds, this quote-unquote coalition, of which Mike Kopp is a member. I saw a story about this last night on WSMV Channel 4, and if anyone from WSMV Channel 4 is listening, you might want to listen up, because your reporter did a story where he interviewed this guy and never named him. There was never once in the story that he called him out by name. There was never once in the story where he told us who this dude was or what he was about. They said that he was a part of the organization Restore the Fairgrounds, but they never named him. And I watched the story 3 different times trying to get the guy's name because I wanted to get him on the radio show to talk with him. Well, I had to go online to find the name of the guy that was on the television program on WSMV Channel 4's newscast last night. His name's Mike Kopp. Now, if you look up Mike Kopp, Restore the Fairgrounds, you can't find anything online. Nothing. There's no footprint from these people. Why is that? Why? They don't have a website up? And I couldn't find anything, a cursory glance of Facebook. I couldn't even find a Facebook page for them. Let's look again. Let's look together. Facebook. Go over to Facebook.com. And, of course, the internet isn't working, so that's good. No, we go to Restore the Fairgrounds. And let's see what we find. Or Restore Our Fairgrounds is what it's called. Our Fairgrounds. Is there even a Facebook page? No. There's a news story from News Channel 5. There's another news story. There's a Fairgrounds Heritage Preservation Group that is interested in keeping the Speedway there. Nothing. So there's no footprint for this organization. Might I suggest to you, using the brain that God gave me in my life experience, that this is John Ingram trying to astroturf some sort of quote-unquote movement in an effort to bully the Metro Council into delaying this decision. They are trying to play the long game to push Bristol Motor Speedway out of the picture so that John Ingram can use his millions of dollars that he's holding over the Metro Council. It's my understanding that he's holding $2 million that he says he'll give to quote-unquote affordable housing if the Metro Council plays ball with him. And so they want to change the charter from auto racing to affordable housing. And here's how this is going to go down, folks. I can smell this like a fart in a car. They're going to claim that they're using this property for affordable housing. John Ingram, in turn, is going to hand them millions of dollars in exchange for the property. And they'll claim, oh, well, that's the same thing. He gave us money to use for affordable housing, so it's the same thing as using the property for affordable housing. Y'all with me so far? It is all a long game play for Ingram to use his millions of dollars to do what he said he was never going to do when he built Geodis Park in the first place, and that is take over Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. John Ingram lied to the people of Nashville, Tennessee when he said he had no interest in that property. He lied to the people of Nashville, Tennessee when he said he supported racing at that property. All he wants is that property, and everyone on the Metro Council knows it, and Freddie O'Connell knows it, and they're all chicken you-know-what because they won't stand up to this multimillionaire who's trying to bully the city of Nashville out of one of its prized possessions, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, which has been around since 1904. Am I the only one mad about this? Am I the only one upset about this? 615-737-9986. 615-737-WWTN. It's Matt Murphy live at Toy Field, 24 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. We are pleased as the sun slowly sets to be a part of the 18th annual Toy Field. It's our annual toy drive benefiting the Salvation Army Forgotten Angels program. And listen, folks, this field has not gotten nearly – did you find it?
I found it.
What is it under?
It was on News Channel 5's website, their story.
What's that website?
On the fairgrounds. Let me go back here.
Restore.
It says the group Restore Our Fairgrounds submitted a petition. Then I clicked on petition in the story, and that brings up Restore Our Fairgrounds. Priorities, get involved,
.org.
newsroom, background. Yeah,
Okay.
.org.
All right, well, I'm going to go to that. All right, I'm going to that because I want to see more about it. I want you to call. I mean, is anyone else willing to put in a modicum of effort? I'll lead the effort if I need to. I don't want to. I would love it if there were other organizations. It feels to me, and this is what feels to me like's going on, like the people at Bristol Motor Speedway and their parent organization, I always forget the name of the parent organization, but they own racetracks around the country. They have offered Nashville everything on a silver platter. They've offered them a $130 million restoration project. They've offered them that they will take care of the facility on an annual basis. There's no obligation to the city. There's no tax burden to the city. Right now, there's a tax burden going on. They've offered everything to the city, and they're trying to play nice. They just want the city to say yes. And the benefit, the economic benefit of having all of this coming out is insane in terms of the monetary impact. Plus, it will continue to build out that Wedgwood, Houston area. It will continue to build out that area in and around Geodis Park. And the only entity that is truly against – I mean, there are a few people in the neighborhood that don't like the sound. Well, guess what existed before those people were there? The racetrack. They knew it's like moving to a golf course and then complaining about golf balls. Well, what did you think would be on a golf course? Right? I mean, seriously.
You're right.
I mean, so they moved to a neighborhood where there was a racetrack, and now they're mad about the racetrack. The racetrack's been there since 1904, y'all. There's been motorized auto racing on that track since I don't know when. Bottom line is this. I feel like, as I've watched this issue, and I talked about this in the spring of 2022 with a good friend of the show, Norm Parton. And Norm is a longtime supporter of racing. He's a longtime supporter of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And Norm, Bristol Motor Speedway, Jerry Caldwell, all of the rest of the people involved in this, I don't fault them for the way that they're acting, but they're playing nice. They're playing nice with the idea that if we're nice to the city will be nice to us. If we play fair and offer them this sweetheart deal, they're going to come back and they're going to agree to it because it's mutually beneficial. What they don't understand is that there are underhanded people that are throwing rocks and hiding their hands. They're hiding in the shadows. They're not willing to come out and state their real purpose for what they want and why they want it, and they are not playing nice. And it's about time that we pushed back on the city council, that we pushed back on the mayor's office and said, what do you want for our city? I mean, this is an institution. I mean, you can say that the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, I mean, I'm not here to tell you that it's the Parthenon, but it's been around almost as long. I'm not here to tell you that it's the Ryman Auditorium, but it's been around almost as long. I'm not here to tell you that this is Opryland, but it was around a long time before Opryland, and it's still here. And you know what? It'll become a parking lot, or it will become a condo. And I've seen this before. And this, if you notice my passion on this issue, there's a couple of reasons for my passion. One, it's a rich, fat cat that wants to do his own thing, and they're lying to the people of the city in order to get that. That's number one. Number two, I've seen this before, y'all. And y'all have seen it before, too, where a city loses something that is unique to the city, that cannot be replaced, and then years from now, people will drive by those condos and go, man, oh, man, you know, remember when Bristol Motor Speedway was going to rebuild that and turn it into something special that's unique to Nashville, that Nashville's had since 1904? We don't have it anymore, but aren't those condos like every other condo I've ever seen? Wish we could go back and change it. Now's the time. We got to and I compared it yesterday to the property tax increases. We tried to sound the alarm, and Americans for Prosperity tried as well. the No Tax Nashville group, Ben Cunningham's group. I think I'm screwing up the name of his organization. He tried as well. The Davidson County GOP, under the tutelage of Jason Weekly, they did their best to get the message out that your property taxes were going up again unless you said something. And we went out, and I was there at the mayor's speech. I was there at the city council meeting. Others were there at the city council meeting, and there just weren't enough people. And now that the tax bills are coming in, I'm hearing from far more people. I'm hearing from people on email and on text message and on the text on super text. They're like, what is this going on with our property taxes? What's happening here? It's like, well, that ship's sailed, man. That is, it's too late. Nothing we can do about it now. But there is something that you can do about this. And that is where my passion is on this. That once you lose it, it's gone forever. It is unique to the fabric of this city. It reminds me a little bit of the Ernest Tubb Museum, the Ernest Tubb Record Shop, right? And while we salvaged some of that, not all of it was salvaged, but they were about to turn that into just another bar on Broadway. And it took an uprising of people to say, no, that is something that is a part of the fabric of this community that we don't want to lose. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would hope that there's more frustration and anger about it. I hope that frustration and anger builds to the point that you reject this AstroTurf organization that is funded by John. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, I don't have the receipts. I admit that, but I know in my guts this is exactly what's going on, because every single time I talk to anybody that's against the restoration of the fairgrounds, against the infusion of the money, against the Bristol Motor Speedway plan, it all goes back to John Ingram. And I guarantee you this Restore Our Fairgrounds organization, which, by the way, no clue what that means, because the fairgrounds always had racing on the fairgrounds property, always. Horse racing, auto racing. Billy is next up in Franklin, I believe it is. Hey, Billy, glad you called the Matt Murphy Show. We're live from Toy Field. What's going on, brother?
Not much. I got a call earlier about the AI bill. Why can't they just let parents do their jobs instead of taking them away from us?
Are you talking about Marsha Blackburn's bill?
Yes, sir, because I had dinner with her back in '03 when I was stationed up at Fort Campbell, and everyone asked me what I thought of politicians, and I told her point blank what I thought. And everyone busted out laughing, and she got red in the face.
Okay, Bill.
Politicians are either stealing lollipops or kissing babies.
Do you vote, Billy?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
Mm-hmm. Why do you do that?
Because it's my right.
Well, no, if your position is that all politicians are the same, I was just curious if you voted.
Yes, sir, I vote, but every politician I've ever met, they're either lying or stealing from us.
All of them?
And I've met a lot of them.
You're not going to get me to defend politicians, Billy, but I don't know that all of them.
20 of them.
Yeah.
I met about 20 of them.
Well, I don't know that I'd vote for that anymore.
Oh, sir. Hey, thank you for letting me listen.
Well, Billy, I appreciate your call, brother. I understand that. Thank you, Billy, for the call. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. There goes Billy on line one. Billy, look, man, I think it is – I don't begrudge anyone their frustration with the political world as it exists. But I also think, the day that I give up to the point that I think that there's not a way to affect change, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to walk across the street and talk about sports for a living or talk about, toaster repair or, talk about gardening. That'd be a lot more fun, honestly. Talk about little groundhogs. What? What are you looking at me that way for? I mean, it's true. Because at some point, if you're just spinning your wheels, if you're just talking to hear yourself talk, if you don't believe that you can affect change in the nature of what we do on a day-to-day basis, then then what are we even doing here? So, but Billy, I understand the frustration. Now, on the AI front, here's the deal. I don't think it's AI so much. It's online resources and the ability for young people within their homes to gain access to some of these online resources without barriers being in place to make sure that these resources know that the people that they're dealing with are of the age of majority. So parents obviously have a responsibility here. And I admit to you, I've not read the legislation. I need to read the legislation because I want to know exactly and specifically what it does. According to Senator Marsha Blackburn and many of her fellow senators and congresspeople, this would give more – it would place more onus on the operator of the online system to verify the age of the individual that online operator is dealing with. What many of these online folks say, like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, is, look, we're just a platform. We don't have anything to do with what people are doing in their individual pages and in their individual spaces, nor should we have any responsibility to tell parents how they should monitor their children within their homes. Marsha believes that it's more akin to the online sale of alcohol, for example. If you sell alcohol, you're allowed to sell alcohol online, and many states allow that to happen. I don't know what the rules are in the state of Tennessee because I've never tried to buy any. But if you try to buy alcohol online, you will be expected to verify your age. And it is on the business, the online business, just as it would be on the brick-and-mortar business to verify age. And if the government determines that you're not doing that, or if you haven't done that, they're going to come after the business. Marsha wants to place the same types of regulation, different industry, but the same type of risk, according to her, for youngsters. I understand her position that there is a government role in this. I just want the lightest touch that government can possibly offer, because I know what happens if we allow the heavy hand of government to descend upon the internet, and that is going to involve government control of the internet. And there's a danger there, boy, because when the government gets control over something, it runs it, it manages it, it limits it, it restricts it, and freedom is out the window, boy, just out the window. James, I see you there. We'll get to you in a moment, but it is 10 minutes until 5 o'clock. It's time. What are you giving me? What you gave me the finger. Why are you giving me the finger, Jackson? Jackson just gave me the finger.
He gave you a finger.
Oh, no.
That's the finger.
That first one, that was just a finger. But that last one, that was the finger. Comma, Weaver Ken. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll be back in a moment. Stand by. Ken Weaver is a professional, brother. You are a pro. Because Jackson and I are here yapping. Louie, thank you for everything you're doing back at home base. Because I don't know what's going on. So Jackson and I are yapping. Ken's trying to do his job and tell people what's going on in the news. And Jackson, who is ever supportive.
Yes, sir.
Of your humble host.
Yes, sir.
Matt Murphy.
And the Georgia Bulldogs.
No, Ken,
let's not be
not
crazy.
do that.
Let's not turn it that way.
I remember a September show where I said, and I quote, beep them all.
So as Ken's trying to get ready to do his news tease, Jackson looks at me and says, "You're killing it, bud." And as Louie brings our mics up so Ken can do his news feed, I'm like, killing what? The radio station? Yeah, that's probably about right.
And then we're giggling all the way through
so
his tease.
we're giggling through Ken's news tease, and he's a pro.
Well, thank you, boys. I appreciate
Ken Weaver.
I'm Ken Weaver.
Dang right he is. Dang right he is. The lights are lovely under the tent, aren't they? Aren't they nice?
Very nice.
As the sun slowly sets in the west, the lights come up over Toy Field, and you're invited to come on out and say hello to us. Don't let the dark stop you. We need, maybe we're 3/4 full, maybe.
I think we're 3/4 full.
3/4 full?
Yes, sir.
But we still got, there's a lot of green grass I'm looking at. We need to cover every bit of that green grass with toys.
I got a foot on the green grass. You need to hit my foot.
That's no good. Yeah, and
here comes somebody with a big old box.
Oh, I love seeing that. What is that?
I don't know.
That looks like that's a big old bicycle right there. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're talking about. So you can come out to see us. We're right on the south side of Nissan Stadium. We're looking at the pedestrian bridge. We're looking at Shelby Avenue. We're on that side. And if you go in the construction entrance, you'll know it. Don't do that. You'll see the signs that say Toy Field. You come around to us. You can drop your toys off in the lot. We've got folks out there that'll bring them right to the Toy Field. Or you can come and see us. We got refreshments and whatnot. We got news coming up with Ken Weaver at 5 o'clock. We got nincompoops in the news coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. And we'd love to see you. 2 more hours to go at Toy Field, the 18th annual, benefiting the Salvation Army Forgotten Angels program, brought to you by our friends at A.O. Smith, Wayne's Pest Control, Nashville Tent and Awning. It's news time on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.